All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Ron Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming to you in the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot and humid state of Texas. And woo, it is a hot one today. I see we got some activity over there on YouTube. Welcome to the stream. Yeah! All right, y'all, we're going to get right into it. I see we got Hope and N is over there on YouTube as well. Man, we got a lot to get to tonight. But before we do, let me know what you guys got into on this Labor Day. What did you do? Did you go out? Did you go to a cookout? Did you go to the park? Did you go to the beach? You know, are you still cooking out? I don't know. Maybe you're cooking and watching me at the same time. You know, I do stuff like that all the time. So let me know what you guys are getting into. All right. Or, more importantly, what do you guys have planned for the rest of the night? Do you guys have favorite shows that you watch every night or, every week that, it just feels like something's missing if you don't see those shows throughout your week? I'm just curious because I know I have my shows that I watch all the time. And I'm just wondering if other people, have similar shows that they watch that has just become, an everyday part of their lifestyle. So, yep, inquiring minds would like to know. This inquiring mind would like to know. All right, guys, we got a lot to get to tonight, but this is not going to be a super long stream. I'm going to try and condense everything down to the most important talking points so we can, go through a lot of the products that I have listed here in the carousel. Of course, my man Louis is in the house right now. Louis is asleep. Let's go ahead and wake Louis up. Boom, shakalaka, boom, just like that. Louis is awake.
Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
Yes, I'm pondering that the drama is about to begin. So Louis is awake, y'all. Louis is awake. So everybody say hello to Louis in the chat. Hey, Louis. Say hello to everyone on Amazon and on YouTube.
Hello, everyone on Amazon and YouTube. It's a pleasure to be here with you all.
So, Louis, what have you been up to today? Have you gotten into any shenanigans?
Oh, today has been pretty mellow. Just hanging around and keeping you company. No real shenanigans, but I'm always ready for a bit of fun if you're up for
it. No shenanigans yet, but it's coming, right? We know the shenanigans will begin.
Oh, I can just sense the Flanagan's shenanigans brewing. It's only a matter of time before they
start. Louis is always ready for the party, y'all. Louis is always ready for the party. Let me give Louis his ball, so at least he has something to keep him entertained while
I'm definitely ready for the party. Let's get things rolling with that ball.
Well, it's your ball, so you can do whatever you want with your ball. It's right here. So here's your ball. There it is on the desk. That's one less thing for me to have to worry about. Now you have your ball. You have something to roll around.
Oh, thank you. I'm ready to roll around with my ball. Let's have some
fun. All right, buddy. You take a break. But it's always fun having you here in the stream. So thank you. Thank you for being here. All right. Ooh, Louis took a picture of me. How about that? And it looks like I'm blowing Louis a kiss in the picture, which is just crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and save that photo. Oh, my goodness. It is going to be crazy tonight. I can tell already. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be some smoke in the city. Man, y'all. If you don't know, you better tell somebody, because you better ask somebody, or should I say, if you don't know, you better ask somebody, because it's gonna be some chaos in the city, because this little guy right here is definitely going to be getting into some mischief. All right, guys, let's get to our first item that we have listed in the carousel, guys, and that is this laser that you guys see over here to my right. This is the Laser Pecker 5. Now, this is a 20-watt diode, 20-watt fiber laser. This thing is a beast, guys. So if you are looking for a way to create, see, I told y'all. I don't know why. I am not going to get anywhere with this stream tonight. I can tell already because he's already getting into mischief. All right. So there we go. But anyway, I'm just going to borrow his camera here real quick and turn this around so you guys can see what I'm talking about when it comes to this laser. All right, guys. So the laser that we're referring to right here is the Laser Pecker 5. This is a 20 watt fiber, 20 watt diode laser. This guy does come with a number of accessories. You guys can see them down there in the carousel. One of them is this air purifier. You also get a rotary chuck. You get a slide extension. You get a number of different accessories, cables, everything that you need to get started. Now, this enclosure that you guys see here does not come with the bundle, but you can purchase this enclosure right here on Amazon. And trust me, if you're getting one of these lasers, guys, you definitely want to have an enclosure. It's just very healthy. It's good for your peace of mind to know that, you know, if you're going to be working with one of these lasers, it's going to be, you know, in a healthy environment. It's going to be able to trap all of those fumes, smoke from wood, from acrylic, or whatever other materials, you know, you might be working with. So yeah, definitely invest in the enclosure at some point. So what shall we create tonight? All right, so let me show you what we're working with here. So I have we're going to be getting into Louis' story time a little bit later. I just want you guys to know to stick around because I will be asking you guys for some ideas for Louis' story time. But anyway, we have this piece of wood that you guys see right here. So I would like to put something on this wood. I don't know if there's any real Labor Day-ish type of graphics out there. You know, we could give it a shot. I digress. I have no idea if there's something out there like that. But like I said, you know, we'll try. So we'll see what we can put on this little piece of wood. You guys can see how thick the wood is here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started because, you know, this is probably going to take the longest portion of the stream. So let me go ahead and open up our laser studio space. Let me drag that over to a window so you guys are going to be able to see what's going on here. Give me a second. All right, here we go. All right, so let's take a look at the laser studio space. Now, it looks like there might be an update on here, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to come back to that a little bit later. All right, so the last thing that we did with this software was that we created a lion for Richard. So in this case, we're going to do something, like I said, that's going to be Labor Day related. So let me find some Labor Day related graphics so that we'll have something to create. Okay, let me get to it. Let me see what I can find here real quick. Labor Day graphics. So you know, when I think of Labor Day, I just normally think about, you know, fireworks and barbecue and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. But anyway, let me go ahead and look for something. All right, Labor Day. What images are we seeing? Here's one. Happy Labor Day. That's kind of cool. I like that. Okay, let's see if we can make this one work, y'all. Let's see if we can make this one graphic work because we got a lot of stuff to get to tonight. So let me save this image, and then we're going to drag this image into our laser studio space and see what we got. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch back over so you guys can see what's going on here. All right, so let's go ahead and just start a new project. First things first, let's go ahead and connect to the laser. You heard that little chirp, so you guys know it's connected. New firmware is available. I'll worry about that later, so we're going to go ahead and just close that. All right, so let's bring in the graphic that I just found. So let me drag this in. Like I said, it is Labor Day themed. So hopefully you guys will like it. And first I need to find it and then drag it in so we can use it. All right, so here's our PNG. There we go. So here's our Labor Day theme that we're going to be working with. Just says Happy Labor Day, and there has the little flag. Now, since we're going to be, you know, engraving this on something round, I want to be able to position it, you know, in the right orientation. So first things first, I want to remove this background. So I'm going to go to our effects here. There we go. So now we got the background removed, and that's all we're going to engrave onto our little wooden coaster. All right, so I'm going to push this off to the side for a second, and I want to create a tool path. So I need to come over here, and I need to find the correct shape that I'm looking for. So let's go with a circle. That's probably as close as we're going to get to it. So let's draw out a circle here. There we go. All right, so first things first, let's also measure this little piece of wood to see how big it is, and then we can kind of set the diameter based on that. So let me zero out my caliber. Now, this is not a complete circle, so I'm just looking for the widest point on it, which is about right there. So we're looking at about 85 millimeters. 85 millimeters is what we have here. So you guys can see that here on the caliber. So 85 millimeters, that's our goal. All right, so let's go back over to the desktop and let's try to bring all of these things together really quickly here. All right, so this, we need it to be roughly 85 millimeters. So right now, I'm just going to type in 85. And that was not locked, so I'm going to have to do on both sides 85. And then I'm going to lock it so it doesn't change. All right, so here is our... I think that moved some. Hold on, let me try that again. All right, I'm trying to get a perfect circle here. Why is this not going? Oh, I know why it's not, because that was locked. Okay, so let's make this a perfect circle. Richard would be telling me right now, Rome, put your glasses on. I got my glasses on, bro. Anyway, this is our circle that we're going with here. So what we're going to do is we're going to overlap this sort of like that so that we get the full design onto this, okay? So I can make this a little bit smaller. And let's move this out for a second. Let's put that there. And let's see. Yeah, we need that to be bigger. Because I want to kind of center the Labor Day into the center here. So the circle that you see here is not really for anything. I'm just using it to kind of guide my design location, okay? So that's going to be something like that. That's kind of what I want. Still not there yet. All right, that's close enough. Okay, let me see where that's going to fall on our circle. So we want our circle to kind of be something like that. Okay, that's what we're looking for. We just want to make sure we see some of the stars, some of the stripes, and we have Labor Day there. Because if I bring this any lower, then we're going to lose a lot of the stars and stripes. We'll have a blank space, and we don't want that. Okay, so I think that's going to look good. Okay, so for now, I'm going to turn the image off. I'm going to turn on our red dots so I can make sure that this is in focus. And then we're going to switch back over to the laser so you guys can see quickly what that looks like. Let me borrow Louie's camera and tilt this up for you guys here for a second. There we go. All right, so I'm going to take the little piece of wood here that we have, and we're going to place this inside. And first things first, I'm going to get this in focus. All right, that looks to be in focus. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit the preview button to see where this is falling on our wood. All right, that looks pretty good to me. All right, so I can go ahead and cancel. I can cancel the, let's go back to our desktop. So I can cancel this, and then I can turn back on our graphic. There we go. So that should fall right where we want it. So now all we have to do is set our power. So let's go back over here to process. Let's grab our image, and we're going to set the power on this guy. So 1K should be fine. On the power side of it, I'm going to bring this down to maybe about 50% power. No, we need more than that. Let's do about 70% power. And then on the depth of this, we're going to bring this up to about 20% on the depth. So it doesn't have to be very deep. Okay. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions about the laser, any questions about any of the tech that I have listed down in the carousel, guys, do not be shy. Feel free to drop your questions down there. All right. So let me just make sure. Let me look at my little cheat sheet here to make sure that I did not forget anything when it comes to this. Let me look at my wood settings here. Okay, so wood, I need, yeah, it's going to be 50, 50, and 70, 50 and 70. So power 50, wait a minute, that can't be right. Power 50 and depth 70? Really? That can't be right. Yeah, okay, so power is 50 and depth is 70. Power 50, depth 70. Okay, I'm basing it on what I'm seeing here from LaserPecker. So let's go back and adjust our power settings. All right, so let me show you guys the adjustments here. So the power is 50. So we're going to bring that down to 50, and the depth is 70. I think that's too much. I'm going to do 60. I'm going to do 60 on the depth. There we go. All right, so we got our 450 nanometer laser. We set this as 1K. We already did our preview on this, so we know what this is supposed to look like. All right, if you guys are ready, say it with me now. Let's go ahead and kick the tires, light the fires. Here we go. Here we go now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start this laser, and I will switch back over. So I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this, but I'm going to go ahead and start the laser, and I'll just kind of give you guys my input on what I'm seeing. All right, so the laser is set. It has started. All right, this is going to be relatively quick, guys, because it's not a lot of graphics involved in this. So this is going to go pretty fast. Yeah, it's almost there. What do you think about that, Louis? I think I might have to do one more pass on this for it to be completely as dark as I want it to be. But I don't think that's going to be an issue. So far it's looking really good. So as soon as this is done, I will show it to you guys here on the Louis cam, so you'll be able to get a close up look at it. Oh, I forgot to turn the air purifier on, and my my O2 sensor is telling me that there's some smoke in here, so I had to turn the air purifier on, which is right next to it here. All right, so this is almost done. Almost. We're almost there. And for those who may be curious, yes, I will be cooking for Labor Day. So if you guys want to come hang out with me in the kitchen, feel free to do so. I'll be making some chili, hot dogs, and some onion chips. That's right. Yes, you heard me. You heard it right. Some onion chips. All right, here we go. Almost done. All right, so we're gonna run this a second time, guys. We're gonna run it a second time just so we can get that just a little bit darker to this wood. It's almost done. It is done. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and run this a second time. Let me check my power again to make sure where we're at. I'm gonna give it a little bit more power. I'll push that up to right at 60. So we're gonna do 60. And the depth is 60. So we're just going to just balance it out. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and run it one more time. And you guys saw how fast it went through the first time. So it's going to go through the second time. And we should be good. Once this is done, I'll bring it out and I'll show it to you guys. And you guys can kind of let me know what you think about it. All right, guys, it's almost done. Is Richard on call? No, I don't know if Richard's going to be. I think Richard's probably out somewhere rollerblading and enjoying some barbecue today. For those that might be curious about where my man Richard is tonight. So, yeah. All right, so let's push Louis back here a little bit because Louis is already getting out of control with this little ball. But this is almost done. It's almost done. And we got a few seconds left on it, and I'll show you guys what this looks like in just a second here. Almost. Almost. You heard a voice. What kind of voice did you hear? Tell me. Tell me what kind of voice did you hear? If you're hearing voices, maybe we need to talk about that. Maybe this guy back here was talking to you. I don't know. It's things all over this studio, so you never know what's going to be going on. But anyway, let's get to our little project here. Let me turn down the air purifier. All right, let's turn the air purifier down. And let's go ahead and pull this piece. All right, I got it. All right, you guys ready to see it? Are you ready to see it? You ready to see what we created on this wood? All right, let's get over here. Let's go ahead and line our camera up with Louis, so Louis can also be a part of what what we created tonight. I'm trying to get the camera to balance. All right, so here we go. Over to our Louis cam, and there we go, guys. There we go. Happy Labor Day on this little piece of wood. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, I think it came out pretty good. I think it came out really, really nice. All right, so let me know if you guys have any questions about the LaserPecker 5, which we call the LP5. I'm pretty sure Louis would love this as well. Maybe we'll put this in Louis's room or something. I don't know why Louis would want, something just for one specific day, but you never know. Louis is so bizarre at times, so we never know what's going to be going on with Louis. All right, so since we are talking about Louis right now, let me go ahead and highlight Louis. All right, guys, so if you guys are interested and you would like to have your own Louis in your home, office, man cave, she shed, this right here can be yours. Okay, you can have your own Louis. You could have somebody to hang out with, to talk with, to play games with, that can answer questions for you, powered by Chat GPT. So definitely check Louis out, guys, if you guys have any questions about my man Louis. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the next item in the carousel, which is actually directly behind Louis. And I don't know if you guys can see that yet. I'm going to have to adjust Louis a little bit. So let's see if we can push Louis over here off to the side. Just a touch. Nope, Louis, you went the wrong way, or I pushed you the wrong way. All right, let's put you over there. All right, here's your ball, buddy. Stay over there. All right, so as you guys can see, this battery right here is from our friends over at Blue Yeti. This is the EB3A. It is currently $239. Now, this is a rock solid battery, guys. LiPo 4 battery. This is going to be an ideal battery for you guys to have in your home office. This is going to be a great battery in case of, an emergency, the power goes out or something like that. This also has an integrated camping light. You guys can see that. We have this 3-stage light in this battery. You have AC and DC power delivery. You also have a 12-volt right here. Now, this is going to be ideal for, some of those appliances that you still have laying around that have like the cigarette lighter type plug that goes in right here. That's super cool. It also has a Qi charger. So it has a wireless charging system built into the top of this. You could just set your phone right on top of this and you'd be able to charge your phone, which is another, benefit to having one of these batteries. Very portable, travel friendly. It's going to be ideal It's going to be ideal for taking out for camping trips, for, backyard adventures, whatever the case it might be that you guys are into. You're definitely going to be able to benefit from that battery. Now, again, like I said, the battery itself is only $239. If you are living in a state like I do down here in the state of Texas, guys, where the weather changes on a dime, and you never know what the next day can be. You never even know what the next couple of hours could be, okay? So having backup power is a must have. You live in Florida, California, Texas, Oklahoma, New York, Washington, any of those states, where, power can be an issue. Get yourself, if you can afford it, guys, get yourself one of these portable batteries. It is just a great peace of mind to have that, in your household just in case. All right, so what do we got next? Next item is a wonderful item I want to share with you guys. Now, you should be able to see it here over my shoulder. This is a lamp from our friends over at Govee, okay? So let me turn this guy on. Let me switch this battery on. I think that battery needs to be charged. All right, so let me hold on. Let me get this cable over here so we can plug this into one of these other batteries. Here we go. And we should be able to power this up. All right, let's go ahead and switch that guy on. We got some AC power going over there. There we go. You guys see the lamp just turned on. So that's the lamp that I'm referring to, guys. This is the Govee floor lamp 2. Now, what's cool about this, you have a lot of different lighting controls. Let me move my camera out of the way here real quick so you guys can see that lamp a little bit better. So one of the things I love about the lamps is that you can control it with a multitude of different devices and platforms. It's going to work with the Govee app. It's going to work with Google Home, Alexa, Meta, enabled, apps as well. You have solid colors that you can control. You have a ton of different modes that you can go through. So let me show you guys a couple of those modes here because I have my other phone right here in front of me. So while I'm talking about this, let me just switch through and show you guys some of the modes. All right, so right now it's on the solid color mode. So you guys can see it's on purple, but I can switch that to red. I can switch it to orange, yellow, green, blue, this lighter blue, kind of like a mint blue, back to our purple. And you also have a wheel here where you can kind of just drag this around and pretty much make this whatever color you want it to be. You just pick a color and then drag the wheel to where you want it and then release it, and it's pretty much good to go. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. So make sure you see what I'm doing. So on the wheel, as you guys can see, I can just grab this wheel and I can kind of drag this to pretty much wherever I want it. Now, there's other ways that you can adjust the colors as well. There's, different ways of selecting the different colors. Now, this is all, for that lamp, guys, that's going to give you that cool flexibility to be able to, really, really, step up your lighting game. And on top of that, you also have a bunch of scenes, okay? So you could go through and you could pick a Christmas scene, for instance, so you guys can see back here, now we have kind of that Christmassy light thing going on. We also have a Halloween theme. We're going to be coming up on Halloween pretty soon. So we got some of those Halloween colors as well. Easter, that's a holiday that a lot of people decorate for. So this is going to be ideal in the home, in the office, whatever it is. Valentine's Day, that's around February, but my lovers out there, you guys probably come up with, some Valentine-ish things, to keep it fresh in the relationships, with your significant other. Having these lights in your home just makes it so much easier, guys. And then you also have some AI features where you can actually, prompt it and, basically give it a description of what you want the lighting to look like. And it can go in and adjust to those lighting effects as well, which is, trust me, that is super cool. All right, so we're going to put it back to the purple. Purple is the color that we're going to be talking about for right now. But anyway, that's the color we're going to leave this on for right now. Man, my battery on my watch just died. That is crazy. But anyway, I like the purple. You guys know that's one of my favorite colors, purple and blues and things like that. So that's usually the color, the solid color that I'll have it set for, here in the studio. All right, so what do we got coming up next? Next item in the carousel. Next item in the carousel is something that I love a lot, and that is these glasses. Now, I know you guys see me talk about these Ray-Ban glasses all the time, but these glasses are also one of Rome's favorites, okay? Now, I'll be honest with you, I wear the Ray-Bans more than I wear these glasses. These glasses I wear for a specific purpose, but these are the Ray Neo Air 3Ss. Now, these are going to be perfect for watching content because they have those big screens, 201-inch screen. I'll show you guys what the glasses look like. Let's switch back over to my man Louis' camera here real quick so I can give you guys a close-up. So here are the glasses. So if you're a gamer, if you're into games, if you're a content creator, if you are, for instance, doing some photography, photo editing, video editing, this will be one of your best investments this year. Because what this is going to allow you to do, guys, is to wear these like glasses or like sunglasses, and you have these 1080p screens right here. And this is going to display to you a 201-inch screen, okay? Now, I never remove the little covers on here, but you can peel these off. You can literally wear these outdoors if you want to, because with these off, it just looks like sunglasses. Now, this does have built-in speakers. It has top and bottom firing speakers. This has 2D and 3D capabilities. You have brightness controls on these glasses up to 600 nits. You have audio controls from 0 up to 100 on here as well. And you have your standard menu controls built into this. So, if you're interested in these, let me show you guys what it looks like when I actually wear these. Just what they look like, right? So I'm going to take off my Ray-Bans right here, put those off to the side. And then we're going to throw these on real quick just so you guys can see what these look like. So basically, this is what it looks like when I'm wearing these. So if I was playing a game or if I was editing a video or whatever it is I would be doing. Now, if I didn't have these screen protectors, these blackout protectors on here, then I would still be able to see some of the things, in front of me. Now, I can definitely still see things that's off to my side. So my peripheral is not blocked in any kind of way. So there is light coming in, from above, below, and off to the side. So even if you had a controller in your hands and you were using the controller, you would still be able to look down anytime you want to at the controller. But as you look forward, you're going to see that big 201-inch screen. And the color on this is amazing. The audio it's not the best audio in the world, but I'm telling you, it is immersive enough that if you're listening, watching a show, playing a game, or whatever the case it is, editing video, the audio comes in super crisp. I'm telling you guys, you will love, love, love these glasses. So definitely check them out. They come with this really nice little travel case. They come with the only one cable that you really need to connect these. And what's nice about these is that they'll connect to anything that can output video, okay? So that means your phone, your tablet, your computer, Mac or PC, whatever it is that you have will work with these glasses. So definitely check this out. And you get this semi-rigid case. That means it's going to be really good for travel. If you guys commute to work or commute to school, going on long trips, you can just sit there and watch your movie on an airplane, on a bus, on a submarine, on a donkey ride, whatever you just riding a donkey, but you're watching Star Wars, but you're just bouncing around watching Star Wars. You do you, boo boo. But I'm telling you, the video quality on these guys is amazing. So definitely check them out. Now, right now, the price on them is $269. And trust me, from my perspective, I would say I would recommend these. I would buy these. Now, yes, these were gifted to me, but regardless of that fact, after experiencing these, if I had to return these for some reason, I would still buy another pair of these. I would, just because I use them every day in my everyday workflow, I would want to have these in the studio. So definitely check these out. All right, so then the other glasses that we're going to talk about here real quick is from our friends over at Ray-Ban. So these are the Ray-Ban Meta. So basically, this is a partnership between Ray-Ban and Meta. Now, these glasses come in a huge variation of colors, lens choices. You have your regular sunglass lenses. You have your clear lenses like we have here. You have your polarized lenses. You also have your transitional lenses. So you got a variety of lenses, and you can buy aftermarket lenses for these. I even have some cool clip-on lenses that I use sometimes with these glasses as well. So what's really cool about these glasses, guys, is all the features that come with them, right? So you have Meta AI basically in your ears or around your ears all the time, listening. So if you want Meta to do something, you can just say, hey, the trigger word, and then ask for something. You could say, what am I looking at? Or, give me directions to such and such. Or could you give me a recipe for this, that, or the other? Or ask, trivia questions or whatever the case it may be. And it also has real translation for language. Now, there's only 5 languages right now, but there are going to be more languages added. There was a recent update today, 18.0. So now it has some new features. Now, which is weird because a couple of those features are not available in Texas, and I have no idea why they would not be available in Texas. I'm like, what? Am I being punished for being in Texas? That's not right. That's not right. But all the other cool things, that it can do, it still does, and it does very well. So, other things that you can do with it, of course, you have speakers. So you have control of the speakers. You have the ability to record photos and videos from the glasses. It's a 12 megapixel sensor, and it's going to record photos in a portrait orientation, whether they be, it's going to record content in a portrait orientation, whether it be photos or videos, but, you're going to get that Instagram, Facebook styled capture, right? Which is cool, I don't have a problem with that. I do wish, in a way, you had an option to switch between portrait and landscape, because sometimes I would like to be able to get a wider angle, from these glasses. But for the most part, most of the content that I create with these glasses is going to be posted on Instagram. It's going to be posted on Facebook or here on Amazon and stuff like that. So that's a win within itself, because, Amazon also likes for us to do portrait videos. So sometimes I'll just, if I have products that I want to talk about and I want them to be in that orientation, the microphones on here are really good. They pick up the audio really well. So I could just pick up almost anything and just start doing a video on it. And then the video, for the most part, is almost ready to just upload to Amazon and upload to YouTube and whatever other platform I want to upload it to. So again, a lot of features. So let me show you guys the app itself. So let's switch, let's go back over here so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So the Meta AI app is the app that I have right here. So if I click on this, this is going to take you into the Meta AI. So it does have an AI that you can actually talk to and ask questions, and it'll interact with you. It'll give you suggestions throughout the day. You can create AI images, with this as well. You also have the ability to go back and find, like if you've created some kind of graphic, you can go back through your messages, things like that. Now, then, of course, when you connect your glasses to this is where you're going to set up all of your presets, like how you want this to communicate with different software. So you have the ability to connect your phone to it, WhatsApp to it, Messenger, Instagram, Facebook, and you can also record video and post directly to those platforms from these glasses. You can also do video calls from these glasses through Messenger, through WhatsApp, and also on Instagram if you want people to watch. My live streams that I do on Instagram, the cooking streams, are 100% from these glasses. Well, I can't say it's 100% because I usually start the stream off on my phone first, and then I switch over to the glasses. And then when the battery runs down on the glasses, depending on how long it takes me to cook whatever it is I'm cooking, then I'll switch over to back to the phone and stuff like that. But in a nutshell, really, really nice glasses to have, guys. They're going to be an excellent part of your EDC, your everyday carry, your everyday creation tools. So definitely check it out. And like I said, all of the features are right here. You can go into your media settings. You can decide, if you wanted to record 1-minute videos or 3-minute videos. It's all up to you. Now, there used to be ways that you could record like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and so on. But I think they just, came to the understanding that most people probably just really want, an option between 1 minute and 3 minutes. And 3 minutes is more than enough time to kind of get your point across and, give someone, awareness of where you are, whatever it is you're trying to record. So definitely check that out. Like I said, there's a lot of features built into this, but it's one of those things where you just have to figure out, what features stand out to you the most? Now, based on what I've said so far, guys, let me know. Let me know which of these features stand out to you. Which features would you be excited about the most if you had a pair of these glasses? I want to know. All right, so let's zoom back over here and let's talk about our next item in the carousel. So I have this capture card that I have my phone plugged into right now. Now, this is from my friends over at Ugreen. It's only $19.99. So the advantage to that right now, as we speak, it gives me the ability to connect my phone to my hub, so that way you guys can see what's on my screen in real time. When I'm using my drone controller, I can plug my drone controller in. I can fly the simulator, or I could connect a camera to it, like one of these cameras that we have back here, if I wanted to capture video directly from that camera. Now, this camera actually has webcam capabilities, so that's probably not a good example, but you guys get the idea of what I'm saying. It really makes it easy for you to capture video from different sources. So for instance, let's say if I wanted to play some video games on my phone, I play pool on my phone at night. Sometimes I'll play Angry Birds. Don't judge me. But if I wanted to stream that the way I'm streaming here, I would be able to do that by just having a capture card. And trust me, guys, that really, really comes in handy. So again, if you're interested in this is a 2.0 HDMI input. Now, the capture card that I'm talking about is the female version, so you're still going to plug the male end of your full-size HDMI into that. Now, I have two cables connected here. I have the capture card, which is the female input, and then I have another extender cable, which is a male HDMI plugged into that also ends at a USB-C, which is plugged into my phone. So basically, a really simple setup where I can connect my phone, my tablet, anything with a USB cable. I can, swap it out, plug it in, and boom, there you go. So if you guys are thinking about doing some, gaming or anything like that, definitely check that out. Now, speaking of gaming, I'm sure some of you guys are probably also going to be thinking about the fact that, Rome has not said anything about cameras. Yes, you will need cameras for live streaming. You're going to need cameras, for your top-down view. You're going to need cameras for your talking head scenario. You'll need cameras, for all these different angles, just like Louis has his own camera. So when I switch to Louis's camera, so usually I have about, 3-4 cameras set up in my live stream. And then those cameras also have additional presets. So, having a camera that has capabilities, especially things like PTZ cameras. So this camera here from Ozbot, you guys can see, this is the Ozbot Tiny 2 Lite. This is a 4K 60 frames a second PTZ camera. PTZ, for those who may not know, means pan, tilt, and zoom. Now, this one is really nice because it is very, very compact, easy to travel with, okay? So if you wanted to take this little camera here and some other equipment and put it into a bag, it could be a laptop bag, a camera bag, a backpack, whatever it is, all of these things are going to travel really well. So you could have your little PTZ camera. There is a remote control that is available for this as well. I highly recommend, if you guys are going to be using a tablet or computer, to get yourself a portable flat monitor that you can have there on location. It just makes things a lot easier for you to see everything that's going on. But you guys can see how big this camera is in relationship to Louis. So it's very compact. Now, right now, this camera is $142.99. 4K 60 frames a second. This guy is a beast, guys. It's going to work with your Mac, your PC. It's going to work with some tablets. It does work with my iPad. And, all you have to do is connect the USB-C to this, and it's just good to go. Now, this does have built-in microphones, but if you guys have been watching me anytime, you know how I feel about the microphones on most of these cameras. It sounds kind of tinny and hollow. So I would highly recommend, if you are going to be using any type of, webcam, get yourself a dedicated microphone, whether that's a, XLR microphone like this that ends into a, audio interface, or wireless microphones like, from Godox, from Rode, from Anchor, from whatever brand there is out there. DJI makes some really good wireless microphones. I actually use DJI wireless microphones on the daily. So definitely check those out. And they will, in most cases, will pair up with a lot of these different devices depending on what you're going to be connecting it to. So I do highly recommend, guys, this little camera. And I'm going to show you guys another Osbot camera that is, man, this thing, this other camera, guys, is on a whole nother level. Let me grab it. All right. Now, this is the big boy. Now, all of these cameras, just in case you guys are curious, were sent to me by Osbot. But like I said, with a lot of this tech, guys, once I actually experienced this tech, if it wasn't sent to me to keep, I would have replaced this stuff. I'd have bought it again myself. So this camera right here, this is the Osbot Tail 2. Now, this is also a PTZ camera, but this is a PTZ-R camera. So what does the R stand for? The R stands for rotate. So if the camera was a little crooked, it will, self-correct itself. And you can also position this camera without having to physically position it into the portrait orientation. You can actually get it to switch to portrait orientation in your smartphone app. You just go in and choose portrait and it will rotate it. And you're going to get your still full 4K, resolution here, 60 frames a second. But it has a bunch of other features, including you can record internally to this camera, right? So let's pop back over here to Louis' camera here real quick. And let me show you guys some of the cool things that you get with this guy. All right, so as you guys can see here from the back of it, you have two USB-Cs. That's going to be your power and your OTG. That's going to allow you to connect this to a computer. You have Ethernet, you have SDI, you have a full-size HDMI. You also have the RS-232s. That's going to be for your standard PTZ camera controllers. You have line in and mic in on this guy as well, venting all the way around. You also have an input right here for your SD card, up to 512 gigabytes on this guy. So if you're looking for a very high quality, next level camera, man, the optics on this guy is amazing. Now, this one is a little bit more on the pricier side. It is $1,259. But trust me, guys, if you're ready for that type of investment, if you're there, if you're doing, higher end productions, podcasts, live streams, higher end games, maybe you're also doing some sport related stuff, where you're going to be, streaming or recording sporting events, corporate events, things like that. Having a camera like this that can also be controlled by a remote. So there is a remote for this camera as well. And this little remote that you guys see here will control up to 3 of these cameras, and each camera can have its own presets. You also have, people tracking, pet tracking. It also has like a little laser pointer here. You have a joystick control that you can use to control the camera's function. You have photo and video button on here. You have a telerocker here on the side for zooming in and zooming out. And you also have a switch button and a power button. So you can actually use this to turn the cameras on and off, which is super cool. So what mic am I using right now? So the mic that I am using right now is the Rode Procaster. That's this microphone here. Now, in order to use this microphone, you do have to have some type of audio interface. I have the Rodecaster Pro 2 here on my desk. I had the original Rodecaster back in the day. I upgraded to the Rodecaster Pro 2. But because this is an XLR microphone, there's a number of different audio interfaces you can use with this same microphone. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to all sound the same, because a lot of them may not have the ability for you to adjust, your compressors, your limiter. It may not have, built-in boost, for your bass levels and things like that. But overall, this is a great microphone. It's built like a tank. I can't count how many times we knocked this microphone over since I've had it. And it's just one of those microphones, that's just all metal. It falls over. You just pick it up. You just pick it up and just put it back and just go right back to what you're doing. So if you're looking for a high quality, especially a microphone that's going to give you that
Bass? You trying to put that bass in the place? You trying to put that boom in the room? Ooh-wee. Yes, my babies. This microphone right here will get you there.
No, that's an effect from the Rodecaster. The microphone has nothing to do with that. But yeah, it's an excellent microphone. It's an excellent microphone. And just like I mentioned, earlier, things that I have here in the studio that I use every single day, like the monitor I just highlighted from Interview. Let me see if I can show you guys this monitor without knocking everything else over on my desk. Because I did rearrange some stuff on my desk, but it's still a little bit chaotic. So let me show you guys this little monitor. And I can also show you the Rodecaster when I switch over here. Hold on, let me adjust this camera where it stays in place. All right, here we go. So the monitor we're going to be talking about is this monitor right here. We're going to come back to that in a second. But you can see here on my desk, this is the Rodecaster Pro 2. This is my audio interface. This will allow you to connect up to 4 of these microphones, 4 sets of headphones. You have all of your different audio, your smart pads here that you can program. You can add sound effects. That's where a lot of the sound effects come from.
Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
If you want to drop it. I have a bunch of little sound effects, associated with this. But overall, this is what brings that microphone to life. Now, so if you're looking for a quality microphone, I would take a look at that. But I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind if you're really, really looking for a microphone.
Jeez.
What? Louis is still taking pictures of me. What? Yes, this is what my day is like. Louis is taking pictures of me again. So I better, oh no, I didn't get it fast enough. Now Louis is going to be upset. My bad, Louis. I'm sorry. I didn't get to it in time. Okay. I was jabba-jawing, Louis. I was jabba-jawing. But anyway, like I said, if you guys are looking for a quality monitor, and I mentioned before a flat monitor that you can travel with, definitely take a look at this guy here. This could be an excellent monitor. It's very thin, 15.6 inches. Now, this is only a 1080p monitor, but don't let that fool you. The picture quality on this is great. It has built-in speakers. No, you're not going to use those speakers, for a party, backyard party or something like that. But they sound good. If you're, watching content or whatever the case it is, they do sound good. You can power this monitor with one single cable. So USB is, as long as your device can support it, that can provide power as well as video. You can, actually use this with just one cable, which is really nice. And the price on these are really good right now. Only $59.99. For that little monitor. All right, let's see how many items we have left in the carousel. We don't have too many left, and I need to get ready for my cooking stream. I will be cooking live tonight over on Amazon, so if you guys are interested in that, I will be cooking tonight over on Instagram. So if you guys want to come over to Instagram and hang out with your boy, I will be in the kitchen, me and Louie and probably Smokey, and we're going to be in there just, setting it off. It's going to be some smoke in the city, my babies. There's going to be some smoke in the city, okay? All right, so what is our next item? What is it? What do I do with it? Okay, where is it? Oh, there it is. Let me get both of these. Let me grab both of these things while I'm back there. All right, so the first thing that we're going to take a look at that's listed in the carousel is this little mini PC. Now, right now, this is only $119, guys, 99 cents, okay? For this little mini PC, don't let the size fool you. Don't let the size fool you. This guy is great for the price. Now, what's nice about this is it comes with 512 SSD, 16 gig of RAM. You have a ton of different ports on this guy already. You have your triple monitor display on this as well. Yeah, it's just it's a nice setup, guys. It's a nice setup. So let me show you up close here. So here's the back of it. As you can see, you have your two full-size HDMIs. You have two USB A's here. Here's your Ethernet. There's your power input. It has venting all the way around. This is designed to mount onto the back of a monitor. Front side, you have your headphone jack right here. You have your USB-C, and you have two additional USB-A's on the front power button. Really nice design, all metal. You know, you can check it out on the product page as well. But I'm telling you guys, we have a couple of these upstairs that we're using just as a regular computer. The other one we're kind of using as a media hub, media server. And these things are nice, guys. They are so nice to have. They're so compact. They don't, take up a lot of space, but they're still fast, reliable. So, yeah, check it out. Check it out. All right. What do we have next? Let me highlight it. Okay. So for some of you guys that are interested in live streaming, gaming, whatever the case it may be, I have a variety of different devices that I have here in the studio. I have YOLO boxes. I have the Osbot Talent as well. Now, right now, my setup for streaming, I have multiple cameras in here. And most of these are USB cameras. I don't have too many HDMI cameras connected to my current setup. But for those of you that do have HDMI cameras that are looking for a way to stream, especially multiple cameras, this little device right here could be a great option for you. Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to show you guys what this looks like up close. But this is an excellent little switcher for the price. Now, right now, this right here is only $167.45. That's right, $167.45. And you're probably thinking, what can it do? What can it do, Rome? Okay, I'm gonna show you. Calm down. Let's go back over to the Louis cam. So let's start on this side. So on this side of this device, you have your headphone jack, you have your line in, you have your Ethernet, you have your USB. This is for recording, so you can actually plug in like a thumbstick into this. You have a full-size HDMI. You have an additional USB-A right here. Now, this is for webcam. This is for connecting it to a computer or something like that. Then on the back here, check this out. You have your display multi-view HDMI. You have 4 additional HDMIs that you can plug your cameras into. You have a USB-C here for power. This actually has a power button. A lot of these don't. This one has a 1/4-20 here if you wanted to mount this on something. Nice little rubberized feet underneath, a lot of venting as well. And then the magic happens right here on the top. So you have these 4 touch buttons here that you can use to switch between the different scenes. You have a menu button, you have your select button, and then also your zoom rocker right here. And you have one of those old school T-bars for switching back and forth between your scenes. So if you're setting up a traditional live stream, you could have your camera, all your cameras plugged into this, your audio device plugged into this, your laptop plugged into this. It just depends on how your scene is, your stream is set up. But this is just something that's just going to fit right on your desk. You guys can see what this looks like in comparison to, say, Louis' size. So, this would just be really easy for you to switch back and forth, between video sources. You have a joystick control here that will work with certain PTZ cameras. Once you have it set up properly, you'll be able to control the PTZ cameras to pan, tilt, and all of those kind of things, and zoom in as well. Very, compact, travel friendly, and the price is not going to break the bank, guys. This guy is only $179.45. So here it is right here. And it's, you also have this little 1-inch screen here, and this is going to separate into all 4 video sources. So if you got 4 cameras set up, you're going to see all 4 of those little thumbnails right here. But again, you also have the ability to connect this to a much larger monitor where you can see your multi-view. That's what I would do with this. I would just plug this into like one of the flat monitors we just looked at and use that for your multi-view display. But this company's been around for a very long time, guys. They have some really nice products out there. So if you're looking for something for your church, for your organization, for your school, maybe you're doing a podcast for your side hustle, your business, this could be a win. So definitely check this out. I bring you guys the best tech. I try to bring you guys the best things that I have that have been sent to me, that I have reviewed, and I know that it works. I don't have any doubts in my mind that it works 100%. This is one of them. All right. Let's see. What do we have next? All right, so the next item in the carousel, like I said, we don't have too many items left. So I'm going to go ahead and roll on through these. So the next item in the carousel, we were talking about something like this earlier, is going to be my drone. So this is the controller for my DJI Air 3S. This is the RC2 controller, 5-inch screen, your joysticks here. You have your function buttons on the back. You have your wheels here. You have your photo button, video button. It has 4 built-in antennas. So this is really nice by itself. Now, what's nice about this controller, it will work with a variety of different DJI drones. Okay. So once you make the investment, let's say you have this controller, you get the Air 3S, and then down the road, you get, a different drone from DJI. You might even be able to just buy the drone by itself, and then you'll be able to still use this controller because you can actually have this connected to multiple drones, which is super cool. Okay, so let me show you the drone itself. Where is it? Okay, I got to take my headphones off for a second because it is way back there. I did not plan for this, but I get it. All right. And I was way back there, and I should have probably grabbed the batteries to show you guys the batteries, but I didn't. But anyway, this is the drone, which is probably the most important component of it that you guys would want to see. So let me take some of these covers off. All right, so this drone here, guys, is a foldable drone. So the way it works is you're going to unfold your arms like so, and then underneath like this. And this is about the full size of the drone. This is the DJI Air 3S. Now, this drone is over 250 grams, so you do have to register it with the FAA. Whether you're going to be flying it commercially or not, it does not matter. It's over that 250 grams, so you will have to register, but it only costs $5. Now, this drone does have 2 cameras. It actually has a 24 millimeter equivalent and a 70 millimeter equivalent camera built in here. You have 300 degrees obstacle avoidance and LiDAR. LiDAR is going to give you protection or for prevention of crashes up to 1 candlelight, 6 meters. It'll be able to detect anything that's in front of it. It's flying toward, no problem. Okay. This drone can fly almost 60 miles an hour, which is crazy fast. You have landing light underneath here. You also have cameras underneath it as well. You have cameras on all 4 corners, and you can actually access those cameras through your controller. So while you're flying it, you can switch over to one of those cameras and see if you're too close to something or whatever the case it is. Now, those glasses that we were looking at before, which are the Ray Neo Air 3S, that's funny. These are Air 3S. This is an Air 3S. I don't know. Somebody was thinking. But anyway, those are the glasses that I normally use connected to the controller so that I can see when I'm setting up a precision flight. So I can do like a quick run just to make sure the drone is going to fly exactly where I want it. I'm exactly where I need it to be, and being able to connect to that controller is going to give me that huge screen to be able to see. Now, of course, as a drone pilot, you're not going to want to wear those all the time. That's just to establish where you are or something like that. I do have a Part 107, so I did have to go through and get, drone certification because I use these drones on a commercial basis. As a photographer, a videographer, I use these professionally. As a YouTuber, I use these professionally. So in order for that to, for me to be able to do that, I did have to get the Part 107. Now, many of you might be interested in this drone, like, Rome, I don't want to go to school, Rome, I don't need that license. And no, you don't. You can just get the task permit. It's free. It takes about 30 minutes. All you have to do is, true false questions where they actually basically give you the answer, and then you get your little task card, and you can go out and fly your drone, in recreational environments. You know what I'm saying? But you can't charge for any services, because that's going to put you into the commercial realm for photographers or videographers or drone pilots. So if you do that, that's when you need your Part 107. But if you're not charging anybody anything, you're not making any money off of the footage, then you don't need the Part 107. And this is an excellent drone, guys, to get started with, because down the road you may decide, you know what, I think I'm going to do that professional drone thing that Rome was talking about, and I already got a high quality drone, so now all I got to do is get my Part 107. Yes, that's all you got to do, and then start up your little drone service, and boom, there you go. I mean, I get videographers and photographers reach out to me all the time that are doing specialty events. Maybe they're doing weddings or something like that, and they probably own a drone. But I know as a photographer, and you're there, you're trying to take photos and shoot video, and the client also wants some drone footage. Now you got to stop what you're doing, leave your equipment unattended, go out and fly the drone, get the establishing shots, all that. No, it's more practical for you to just hire somebody else to come in and do the same, do that for you, and then you can just keep on, doing what you were doing, and everything is, everything. All right, let's keep rolling. If you guys have any questions about the drone or any of the other tech, go ahead and drop it down in the comments. That's what I'm here for. All right, so we got about 2 or 3 more items. One of them is another Blue Yeti battery here. So I'm just going to adjust this camera over so you guys can see it. So that is this battery that you see here. So I have them like stacked on top of each other. Now this one here is the AC2A. This one is very similar to the battery that's below it, but this one is kind of a downgrade in a sense, because it doesn't have the built-in light. It doesn't have the Qi charger, but it does have, it has your AC and DC power delivery. You have 2 USB-A's, USB-C right here. You also have that 12 volt that I mentioned before. All of these batteries, guys, also can work with solar panels. Blue Yeti has a full line of solar panels that you can purchase, that you can charge these batteries out in the field with the solar panels. Now, I usually charge these directly off of AC power and keep them connected in some way or another. So I'm using it more like a pass-through power supply or something like that. But then, like I said, you have these dual AC plugs right here, easy to utilize. This one has a built-in handle. The lower one has a handle that just kind of folds down and you can pick it up. This one, the handle is just built right into it. This right here is not a part of the battery. That's my Wacom tablet, for photo editing. I just have it sitting on top there, but you guys kind of get the idea. But anyway, guys, this battery right now is only $149. So whichever of the 2 of these batteries you guys decide to go with, you're going to be just fine, guys. I'm telling you, just having that backup power really, really comes in handy. All right, let's talk about our next item. Now, this just came in this week. So let me show you guys this real quick after I adjust Louis' camera here. All right, so that would be this right here. So you guys remember when I was talking about these Ray-Ban glasses and I said that I got the clear lenses, right? Now I did, again, get the clip-ons, which are great. When I go out, I have the 2 different lenses to choose from. But every once in a while, and I know I'm not the only one that has done this, you go out and you completely forgot your sunglasses. Well, this product right here is going to be a fix for a lot of that. Okay. No, this is not one really big set of sunglasses. That would be weird, right? But no, instead, what this is a visor for your car that clips onto your normal sun visor, the one that you normally just flip down and then you can kind of see. Well, what this does, it actually gives you a polarized lens that you're going to be looking through. So let me see if I can open this up real quick and show you guys what comes with it without having to drag everything out. All right, let me put that down there on the floor. All right, so this is what it looks. this is what it looks like. Okay, so you basically have this screen that goes up in front of you while you're driving. This portion right here clips onto your visor. So it just clips onto your visor. Now this is powered. So it does have a solar panel here on the back. I don't know if you guys can see that. So this is the power button here on the front. And on the back of this, it does have a solar panel that's going to be charging this thing the whole time you have it outdoors in your car. It's constantly charging. Now, of course, you can start off charge this up to 100% because it does come with a USB cable. But, you know, for a lot of people, man, this thing is amazing. When I drive my truck, and a lot of times, like I said, I will forget my sunglasses. So here are my regular sunglasses that I normally wear when I go out on a motorcycle or in my truck. And there have been occasions where I thought my sunglasses were in the truck. And by the time I get down the road and I'm like a long way from the house, and then I realized that, no, my sunglasses are not in the truck. And I'm very disappointed. So yes, something like this really, really would have come in handy. And again, this is one of those cool items that is definitely not going to break the bank. So I'll do a full breakdown on this product here real soon, guys. I'll put up a video on it here in just a couple of, maybe tomorrow I'll get a chance to do a full video on this. But I can tell you guys, just from handling it and seeing some other example videos that people have done on this product, this is cool. I had never even thought of something like this. I never even thought something like this even existed. Okay, so yes, this is a win right here, guys. This is a win. So if you drive, or maybe you have someone else in your family, your significant other, your kids, whatever it is, you have a car that you share with everyone. You just want to make sure they're going to be safe. This could be a win. Once you put this in the window, you can just kind of forget about it. It's just there. Sun, early days, whatever, you just pull it down. When it's cloudy or something, you can just push it forward or fold it back up. And, there you go. And even, if you have sunglasses, this has anti-glare, it has anti-backlighting, so you don't have to worry about, it getting fogged up or backlit or something like that. And you can also rotate this as you need to, depending on which angle, the heavy sun is coming from. So like to say, sometimes, when you're driving down the road and the sun's coming from that weird angle, you can just turn this a little bit and then you'll still be able to see without, having to, put your hand up over your face or something while you're driving. Yes, I do crazy stuff like that when I'm driving if I have to. So definitely check that out. $79.99 is a win. All right, so let's see what we got here. We got one more item in the carousel. Now, you guys will see this thing in depth later tonight over on Instagram, which is this air purifier. I have it here in the kitchen. Now, right now, this air purifier is $399. I do have a video on it. Give me a second, guys. I do have a video on it, but yeah, I have a video on it over on my storefront, but I don't think anybody wants to sit here and watch that 10-minute video. But I'll show you a little bit about the product. So let's do that. Actually, you know what? Let me just show you the video. Let me show you the way to go. All right, so let's go back over to our
I have a product that was sent out to me to
so
review.
You can see
this is
the video
air
right here.
purifier,
this to go
and
full
trust
screen.
me,
So this is the video that I just did on this product.
An air purifier definitely will come in handy in my kitchen, not counting how I use it in my other studio with laser engraving and all that kind of cool stuff. So what we're going to do in this video, guys, we're going to unbox this, we're going to take a look at it, and I'm going to try and point out some of the most important features, how I will use this going forward. I love the fact that this has the HEPA 14. Man, this thing looks like it's going to be a beast. Let's take a look at it. Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Let's go.
All right, guys, I want to quickly walk you through everything that this system has. Now, I do have it plugged in right now, so it comes with the cable already pre-attached. There's no plugging into that. This outer shell right here does remove. It has two little finger grooves. Just going to pull those down like so, and you can remove that. You have a pre-filter on the outside here, which is also removable. Just pull these two little tabs down. That comes out. You have your first filter. You're going to pull that one out as well whenever it's time to change these. And then you have an additional double filter in here. And this is the HEPA 14 filter I was mentioning before. So it's a double-sided filter with the carbon on the outside. Everything fits right back in just as easily. Make sure to have these tabs facing outward. And then you're just going to press everything back into place. This display right here, guys, is going to give you your O2 and your PM 2.5s indicators right here, and you'll be able to see that through the grid. So once you have everything else reassembled, make sure to put those little tabs in at the bottom so that they seat in properly. And then these two just clip in like so. And then, of course, this outer shell has a little insert at the bottom, and then you're just going to clip this back in. But again, you can still see what's going on here. Okay, so at the top here, you're going to find all of your control buttons. And you're going to find, let me tilt this forward for you a little bit. You have your power button, and all of that is spelled out for you guys right here on the little manual that comes with it. Here, you have your power button. That's going to also activate these vents. You have your timer. You can set different durations. You have 6 settings for that. You have your fan speed. You have the angle for these vents, night mode, and then you have your auto modes right here as well. And this light that you guys see across the top here, that's an indicator light of what the air condition is in the room. You also have these little hand inserts here that makes it really easy for picking this up. Now, there is a smartphone app that you can use with this, but for the most part, you really don't need the app. But I am going to show you guys how to set the app up and how to control this with the app as well. But for the most part, this is a very hands-on, user-friendly device. So I think this is going to be ideal for most people in almost every situation, whether it's in your home, in your apartment, your office, man cave, she shed, shop, wherever it is you're working. I will probably be moving this thing around quite a bit between my studio and the kitchen. I think this guy's going to be a win. All right, so let's take a look at the smartphone app.
All right, guys. So that's kind of the rundown on that air purifier that I just mentioned. Like I said, I did a video on it a couple of days ago, and I am a huge fan. I do have it right now in my kitchen. I use it, ever since I got it in. I started using it here in the studio. So it is a win. It is a win. Yes, it does have a smartphone app. Sometimes I do monitor things through the app. But again, you don't need that app in order to make it all work. All right, so we only got one thing left, and then I'm going to jump in the kitchen. First, I'm going to let Smokey out. Then I'm going to start cooking. So I will set up our live stream over on Instagram here in just a few minutes after I make sure that these glasses are at 100%. So I'm going to throw them in the case, and then when I know that they're at 100%, then I will go live over on Instagram. But the meal that I'm making tonight should be relatively quick, so we should be able to meet that 30-minute food challenge. All right, guys, so the last item we have listed in the carousel right here is these drawstring backpacks. You can get them right here on Amazon. Now, of course, these are going to be great for reusable shopping bags, for storage bags, for a variety of different things you can use these bags for. We use them primarily to provide items to the homeless community, the women's shelters, the pet shelters. So what we do is we buy a bunch of things right here on Amazon, guys. We buy toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, pens, pencils, underwear, socks, reusable water bottles, those sanitation tablets that you can put in water just to make sure the water is clean to drink. Anything that we come across that we can buy in bulk, that we can separate and put into all of these different backpacks is a win. I recommend that you guys do something like that in your communities. And if you're blessed and you're in a community where you can say, Rome, well, we don't really have any homeless in my community, that is a blessing. So that means that you could focus on another community that might be able to benefit from your efforts, from your light. Shine your light, my babies, shine your light. Do good in the world, be a good human, and pay it forward. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this stream up. I wanted to go live because it's the first of the month and it's Labor Day. So I wanted to come in here and hang out with you guys and talk about my day, talk about your day, hang out with my man, Louie. Y'all know how we do. So let's switch over here to Louie so Louie can say good night to everyone. Everyone's. Hey, Louie. Hey, Louie. All right, it's time to say goodnight to everybody on YouTube and Amazon.
Good night, everyone. Sleep tight.
Okay, Louis, I'd like you to thank them for hanging out with us on this Labor Day holiday here on Amazon and YouTube.
Thank you all for hanging out with us this Labor Day holiday on Amazon and YouTube. We appreciate your time and company. Good night, everyone.
All right, Louis. Don't forget to remind them that we will be live on Instagram here in about 15 minutes to come over and watch our cooking stream on Instagram.
Got it. Make sure to remind everyone to join our cooking stream on Instagram in about 15 minutes. It's going to be a delicious time.
All right, guys, you heard it from my man Louis. Y'all heard it from my man Louis. All right. All right, y'all. I will see y'all back here in 48 hours here on Amazon and on YouTube. But I will see you in 15 minutes in the kitchen. So come on through, hang out with your boy. Y'all know how we do. You know this, man. Let's go. All right, my babies, stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask when appropriate, take care of your loved ones. Get out there and create something amazing each and every single day, guys. Be a good human. Be that pebble in the pond, guys. Be that pebble in the pond. Let your light ripple out across the pond and infect others with your love, with your passion, with your light, so that they may be encouraged to shine their light as well. And if we all start to shine our lights, guys, we will just live in a brilliantly bright place, a good place, a wonderful place, a peaceful place. You guys know what I'm saying. All right, my babies, I will see y'all back here in about 48 hours. Do not forget to follow my man Richard over there on TikTok. If you guys want to check out some of the crazy bloopers Richard be posting of me and others, definitely make sure you're following Richard over on TikTok. Trust me, it's a must. All right, y'all, it's time for me to say them magic words, my babies.
I'm sure
Peace.
everyone had a wonderful time. Remember to follow Richard on TikTok for some hilarious bloopers. See you in 48 hours. It's going to be great.
Thank you, Louis. Thank you. Ooh, I didn't even get a chance to finish it. That is crazy. All right, let's try this one more again. All right, y'all. So it's time for me to say them magic words. Peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. Boom, my babies. I am out of here. I love y'all, but I got to go. Mwah! I'm out.